When I was a grade 11 student, I was given an assignment in my history course where I was asked to design an exemplary school. I chose a model where high school students could take college or university courses while still in high school. My fellow classmates laughed at me and said this would never happen. Little did I know that 20 years later, Ontario would adopt this model through dual credits. Dual credits operate in two ways. First, it means a high school student comes to a post-secondary institution like a college and takes a college class, or more than one. Or a college teacher comes into a high school and team teaches a college course with a high school teacher. What's interesting about the program is that students get credits on their college transcript, but also towards their Ontario secondary school diploma. The Ontario government emphasizes this program in the opening of their Achieving Excellence document when they discuss the continuum from pre-K to adult education. My TED Talk today will focus on the student transition to post-secondary, particularly leadership for learning. We know that transition times are difficult times of change for students of all age levels. And I want to say that dual credits make a difference to Crown Wards and Aboriginal and at-risk students, but I'll talk about that later. This TED Talk today will outline 5 concepts from this course that Ontario leaders can implement to help strengthen and build the dual credit program. First, the dual credit program should be strengthened by helping students build 21st century skills. A Gallup poll was conducted with over 1,000 18 to 35-year-olds, and it found 59% of students who had high school education or less said they developed their job skills outside of school. Only a quarter of university students said this. This indicates a call to action for Ontario high schools to better prepare students for the world of work, and dual credits offer a perfect opportunity to do this. I was given a $150,000 grant from Service Canada in my college-level market research class. My college students and my dual credit students worked together to interview 1,900 employers in the Kingston area to find out where the job growth and gaps are in the next 10 years. We interviewed 1,900 employers. That number is a bit deceiving because one employer, a hospital, employs doctors, nurses, cooks, maintenance workers, carpenters. We created a guidebook for grade 10 career studies where we told grade 10 students where they could find all the different job gaps in over 200 different areas. We held community town hall meetings with the community to release our findings, and we also worked with other colleges to help them pull off the same labor market study. We built social capital, and students built 21st century skills through a real-life project. Secondly, the dual credit program can be strengthened by conducting real research that focuses on scale. We can't just assume that the dual credit program is working. The Ontario government currently pays the tuition for all high school students taking dual credits. We need concrete proof that dual credits are working. This involves looking at depth, conducting teacher interviews, observations of dual credits, looking at student work and teacher logs. We need to look at sustainability of dual credits over time. Look at one college that's just started, another college that's 2 years into the dual credit program, versus one like us that's 7 years into the program. We also need to look at spread, not just trying to increase the number of students and schools involved in dual credits, but really looking at how the dual credit program influences district policies, school policies, and classrooms in both panels, high school and post-secondary. Finally, we need to look in terms of scale at a shift in ownership from external to internal. Imagine you have a college professor, maybe teaching in automotive or engineering or carpentry. This college teacher may never have taken a BEd, they might not have a master's of education, they're not required to take any post-secondary professional development. They might suddenly be presented with 10 dual credit students in their classroom of a significant age gap. Allen and King found that 75% of first-year college students are not directly out of high school. So to have 10, 15-year-old students in your college class with 40 carpentry students who are average age around 25 to 30, that's different. Dual credits are targeted at at-risk and underachieving students. We really need the part-time professors in college to understand internally what the dual credit program is trying to do. Thirdly, to move Ontario's whole system reform forward, we need to have the right drivers in place, and there's 4. First, we know the right drivers need to foster and motivate students and teachers. They need to engage educators in continuous improvement, often through school climate surveys. The right drivers inspire teamwork and collaboration, and they need to affect all students and teachers, not just a subpopulation. In contrast, the wrong drivers use rewards and punishments. They focus on the individual and not the collective organizational learning. They often have an overemphasis on technology as the sole reform, and they're often fragmented. I can say firsthand that dual credits use the right drivers. They motivate people in both panels. We can measure the continuous improvement. To go from 7 students to 700 in only 5 or 6 years, to me, and have a high school within a college campus is actually remarkable. Teamwork. The right drivers are here for dual credits. Our college uses 4 different school boards of 2 different languages, all working together to help these underachieving high school students succeed in our dual credit program. Finally, dual credits are available to all students under the age of 21, not just at risk, even though they're targeted to those. Through virtual co-op placements and virtual learning opportunities, high school students, even over the summer, can take credits on a college campus and count it towards their OSSD. Fourthly, Ontario must continue to close the achievement gap. But achievement is deeper than just EQAO scores. I bring this up because student self-worth, engagement, a sense of purpose are all built through the dual credit program. I had a bullied student who dropped out of high school because she was picked on so relentlessly. She finished her OSSD by taking dual credit courses. She asked not to be identified as a high school student. I had a Crown Ward who was kicked out of 5 local high schools. She had absolutely no family. She waited and waited to be adopted, and no one chose her. She was kicked out of 5 high schools. She came to St. Lawrence and took courses at night and on the weekends in order to finish her OSSD. She then transitioned into one of our college programs. And finally, I've seen countless cases of Aboriginal students who take packages of courses on the college campus. They get 4 high school credits, 3 college credits together in a package, and they're usually the first person in their family sometimes to experience post-secondary. Lastly, to build the dual credit program and to continue to move Ontario forward, Ontario leaders need to build professional learning communities in which leaders and teachers collaborate in teams to improve school conditions and instructional practices. We need to continue to build these professional learning communities, not just between high school teachers, but between schools and between colleges and high schools. We need to continue to have provincial symposiums where we can bring together the best practices in lots of jurisdictions. In summary, to move Ontario forward, our leaders need to focus on building 21st century skills, conduct research that focuses on scale, depth, sustainability, spread, and have ownership internally. We need to have the right drivers, we need to close the achievement gap, and we need to create professional learning communities. We no longer should have a focus on K-12, it needs to be broader, from K to 16. Thank you.